Twitter's blowing up, right, with offers at the moment. But It's almost like we're taking it out.
Welcome to Rumble Recap, where we uncover wrestling's untold stories and shine a light on the moments fans may have only glimpsed. Today we explore a pivotal chapter in the career of Ronda Rousey, one of the most dominant and influential athletes of her generation. From Olympic judo to UFC stardom, Ronda's rise seemed unstoppable. When WWE came calling in 2018, the world watched as she stepped into a new arena, ready to prove herself once more. Her journey, however, was not without its challenges, vulnerabilities, and lessons about the human side of professional wrestling. Stepping into WWE WrestleMania 34. Ronda Rousey made her WWE debut at WrestleMania 34 on April 8, 2018, at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Over 78,000 fans packed the stadium, and millions more tuned in around the world. She teamed with Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle to face Triple H, a seasoned 14-time world champion, and Stephanie McMahon, WWE's corporate heir and accomplished in-ring performer. The match was electric, a perfect blend of athleticism, storytelling, and spectacle. From the opening bell, Ronda demonstrated that her skills were transferable. She executed armbar submissions, traded strikes with Triple H, and displayed agility and charisma that made her a natural fit for the squared circle. Fans erupted in awe, witnessing a seamless transition from MMA to sports entertainment. Critics praised her performance, calling it one of the most impressive celebrity debuts in WWE history. The pressure of transition. While the match was celebrated, behind the scenes, Ronda faced an internal battle. Wrestling, unlike MMA, requires not only physical skill but also a deep understanding of timing, storytelling, and performance psychology. Unlike the octagon, where outcomes are determined by skill and strategy, WWE demands adaptation to choreography, working with partners, and performing in front of large, often unpredictable crowds. For Ronda, the biggest challenge wasn't learning moves. It was reconciling her identity as a fighter with the scripted, theatrical nature of wrestling. Moments like the powerbomb from Triple H, delivered flawlessly and safely, nonetheless shook her confidence. It symbolized vulnerability on a scale unfamiliar to her, reminding her that even the strongest athletes can feel exposed under the spotlight. WrestleMania 34, a moment of vulnerability. During her debut match, Triple H lifted Ronda into a textbook powerbomb. While the move was executed safely, it left a lasting impression on her. For someone who had built a career on invincibility, the sensation of being fully at the mercy of another performer was humbling. It highlighted that wrestling, though scripted, demands trust, courage, and a willingness to embrace vulnerability. Ronda later reflected in a YouTube interview that this was one of the most challenging moments of her career, not because of fear of injury, but because it challenged her sense of control and self-perception. In MMA, Ronda had dominated her opponents through skill and preparation. In WWE, she learned that even small missteps could make her feel suddenly powerless in front of thousands. This realization was both eye-opening and deeply human. Rising in WWE, triumphs and challenges. Following her debut, Ronda's WWE career quickly gained momentum. She captured the Raw Women's Championship in August 2018, headlined major events, and eventually main-evented WrestleMania 35 in 2019. Her performances brought legitimacy and star power to women's wrestling, inspiring countless fans and aspiring athletes. Yet her rapid rise also amplified the pressure to maintain perfection. Public scrutiny, social media commentary, and high expectations became constant companions. Every match was a test not just of skill, but of mental resilience. Ronda's story illustrates that even accomplished athletes face emotional strain when stepping into new arenas where judgment is immediate and unforgiving. Reflections on pressure and identity. After losing the Raw Women's Championship to Becky Lynch, Ronda chose to step away from WWE to focus on family life with her husband, Travis Brown. Her decision reflected a broader truth about athletic careers. Personal well-being often requires stepping back from public expectations. In interviews, Ronda candidly shared how performing in WWE taught her lessons about identity, resilience, and boundaries. While fans often see the glamour, the reality of professional wrestling includes long hours, constant travel, and the emotional weight of performance. Wrestlers must reconcile their in-ring personas with their real lives, a balance that can be both exhilarating and exhausting. The human side of performance. Ronda's WWE journey reveals that wrestling is not simply about physical dominance or winning championships. It is about collaboration, trust, and the courage to expose oneself emotionally and physically in front of an audience. Her reflections emphasize that even the strongest, most successful athletes encounter moments of doubt and vulnerability. These experiences resonate with fans because they humanize the performer. Wrestling is not just about spectacle. It is a mirror of resilience, discipline, and the universal challenge of stepping into unfamiliar roles while striving to excel. Legacy and inspiration. Despite the challenges she faced, Ronda Rousey's WWE tenure left a lasting legacy. She elevated the women's division, drew new audiences to the sport, and demonstrated that athletes from diverse backgrounds can succeed in professional wrestling. Her story is not defined by moments of discomfort or criticism, but by the courage to face them, learn from them, and continue performing at the highest level. Ronda's journey offers lessons in perseverance, humility, and self-discovery, illustrating that true strength is measured not just by victories, but by the ability to confront vulnerability and grow. The demands of the WWE schedule. Ronda also struggled with the relentless pace of WWE's schedule. Unlike MMA, where fighters have extended periods to train and recover between bouts, WWE performers often participate in over 200 shows annually, traveling constantly. She described the experience as exhausting both physically and mentally, leaving little time for personal life, rest, or reflection. "I barely saw my husband or my home," she explained. "My body was screaming, my mind was fried. I wasn't living, I was surviving." This grueling rhythm was a stark contrast to her experience in MMA and highlighted the often overlooked endurance required to perform at an elite level in professional wrestling. Creative constraints and frustration. Beyond the physical demands, Ronda struggled with creative limitations. She entered WWE with ideas for matches and storylines that she hoped would resonate with fans, but often found herself constrained by scripts, expectations, and corporate decisions. "I wanted to build something real, something fans could feel," she said. Instead, she had to perform within predetermined roles, smiling on cue, and following a structure that sometimes conflicted with her instincts as a competitor. This tension between creative ambition and professional expectation contributed to a growing sense of frustration and disconnection from her work. Adjusting identity and expectations. The transition from MMA to WWE required Ronda to adapt her identity. In the UFC, she was a dominant champion controlling every fight. In WWE, she was a performer in a larger narrative. This shift challenged her self-perception and tested her resilience. Ronda had to learn that vulnerability and collaboration could coexist with strength, and that success in wrestling was measured not only in victories but in storytelling, audience engagement, and emotional resonance. This process was difficult, but it ultimately highlighted her capacity for growth and adaptation. Public perception and criticism. Public reaction played a significant role in shaping Ronda's WWE experience. Social media, wrestling forums, and news commentary amplified every moment, positive or negative. Fans were passionate and vocal, and Ronda experienced firsthand the intensity of public scrutiny in the digital age. While praise was encouraging, criticism could feel personal and overwhelming, particularly when directed at someone navigating a new professional environment. Her reflections emphasize the importance of separating performance from self-worth and recognizing that even high-profile athletes can be deeply affected by public perception. Lessons in resilience. Despite the challenges, Ronda's WWE tenure offered lessons in resilience and personal growth. She confronted unfamiliar pressures, learned to embrace vulnerability, and continued performing at a high level under intense scrutiny. Her journey underscores that the path of a professional athlete is not defined solely by victories or accolades, but by the ability to adapt, persevere, and maintain integrity under challenging circumstances. For fans and aspiring athletes, her experience provides a window into the emotional and physical demands of professional wrestling, as well as the courage required to navigate them. Finding balance and perspective. Ronda's story illustrates the broader human experience behind professional performance. Success in wrestling, MMA, or any competitive field is rarely linear. It involves adaptation, learning from setbacks, and managing both internal expectations and external pressures. By reflecting on her experiences, Ronda highlights the importance of mental health, rest, and personal boundaries in high-pressure careers. Her candid acknowledgement of the challenges she faced offers an honest perspective on what it means to be both a performer and a human being. Legacy beyond the spotlight. Ultimately, Ronda Rousey's WWE career is part of a larger legacy. She brought legitimacy, star power, and athletic excellence to the women's division, inspiring countless fans and performers. Her story is not defined by moments of discomfort or criticism, but by her courage to step into a new world, embrace vulnerability, and perform at the highest level. Ronda's journey emphasizes that true strength encompasses not only physical skill but also emotional resilience, adaptability, and the willingness to grow through challenging experiences. Adapting to a new world. Transitioning from mixed martial arts to professional wrestling was far from simple. In the UFC, Ronda controlled every fight, every strategy, every outcome. In WWE, she had to perform in a scripted environment, trusting partners and choreographers to execute moves safely while telling a story that resonated with fans. Her debut at WrestleMania 34 alongside Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon was electrifying, but it also exposed her to vulnerabilities she hadn't faced before. The powerbomb delivered by Triple H was a physical reminder of the difference between MMA and wrestling. She had to surrender control, embrace collaboration, and perform under scrutiny. That moment, though executed safely, became symbolic of the emotional and professional challenges she would encounter. The strain of expectations. Following her debut, Ronda's presence in WWE drew intense attention. Fans celebrated her athleticism, but the pressures of public perception and online commentary quickly became overwhelming. Ronda spoke candidly about sleepless nights, replaying matches in her mind, and questioning her abilities. Social media amplified every misstep, and online communities often blurred the line between critique and personal attack. Ronda's experiences highlighted the emotional weight that performers carry, showing that even world-class athletes are affected by judgment, expectation, and the constant spotlight. She realized early that wrestling is not just physical performance, it is also endurance under relentless public scrutiny. The physical and emotional demands WWE's schedule is grueling. Performers often travel hundreds of days a year, participating in over 200 shows while maintaining high levels of performance and physical conditioning. Ronda described the schedule as exhausting, leaving little time for personal life or recovery. Compared to MMA, where fighters have months to train and recuperate between bouts, WWE required relentless energy and resilience. She also faced creative constraints that limited her ability to craft storylines she felt passionate about. While she excelled in matches against Alexa Bliss, Nikki Bella, and others, she yearned for deeper, more meaningful storytelling. The combination of physical strain and creative frustration contributed to the mental and emotional toll she experienced. Advocating for the women's division, Ronda witnessed firsthand the evolution of women's wrestling in WWE. Stars like Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks were redefining the division, but Ronda felt there were still gaps. Matches were sometimes shortened, storylines compressed, and women's narratives given less focus than their male counterparts. She called attention to these disparities, advocating for equality in airtime and opportunities. Her observations underscored that even as the company progressed, there was more work to be done to fully elevate the women's division. Ronda's perspective serves as a reminder that systemic change requires attention to detail, fairness, and commitment to providing meaningful opportunities. Stepping back for family and reflection. After WrestleMania 35 in 2019, Ronda stepped away from WWE to prioritize her personal life. She and her husband, Travis Brown, welcomed their daughter, Lakia, in 2021. Parenthood offered a new sense of purpose, but it also made her reflect on the pressures and challenges she had faced in the ring. Away from the spotlight, Ronda began to reassess her career, her identity, and what it meant to be both an athlete and a person. Stepping back allowed her to process the highs and lows of her WWE tenure and provided space to heal emotionally and mentally from the relentless demands of the industry. The power of speaking out. In her recent interview, Ronda shared candid reflections about her WWE experience. She spoke about the pressures of the schedule, the creative limitations, and the challenges of online criticism. Her decision to speak openly is not about bitterness, it is about transparency, advocacy, and learning. By sharing her story, Ronda provides insight into the realities of professional wrestling and encourages fans and organizations to consider the human behind the performer. She emphasized the importance of mental health support, structured creative freedom, and safe spaces for wrestlers to navigate the demands of their careers. Cyberbullying and public pressure. Ronda also highlighted the impact of cyberbullying and harsh criticism on performers. Social media allows fans to engage directly with wrestlers, but it can also amplify negative voices, creating unnecessary emotional strain. While many praised Ronda's debut and matches, a minority engaged in personal attacks or overly harsh commentary. Her experience shows that performers are humans first, deserving respect and empathy. The WWE community and fans at large can play a role in fostering a positive environment by recognizing the dedication, risk, and vulnerability that athletes bring to every performance. Reflections on equality and opportunity. Ronda's observations about creative limitations also touched on equality in wrestling. She argued that women deserve the same opportunities as male performers to tell compelling stories, headline major events, and showcase their full athletic abilities. Comparing WWE to other promotions like AEW or Impact Wrestling, she noted that some organizations are giving women main event opportunities rather than relegating them to secondary roles. Her advocacy highlights the ongoing conversation about gender equality in sports entertainment and underscores the need for thoughtful, equitable treatment of all performers. Finding healing through honesty. Speaking out about her WWE experience has been a form of healing for Ronda. By reflecting on challenges such as the pace, creative constraints, and public scrutiny, she processes the emotional weight of her career and validates her own experiences. Her honesty provides insight for fans, peers, and aspiring athletes, demonstrating that acknowledging struggles is a step toward growth and resilience. Rather than diminishing her achievements, her transparency elevates them, showing that strength includes the courage to confront difficulties openly and learn from them. The weight of public scrutiny. Following her debut, Ronda faced a torrent of online commentary. While many celebrated her performance, some criticism became personal and relentless. Sleepless nights and constant replaying of moments from the ring highlighted how public opinion can affect even world-class athletes. The emotional strain underscored that professional wrestling is not only physically demanding but also mentally and emotionally taxing, with performers bearing the brunt of both adoration and critique simultaneously. The physical and creative demands WWE's schedule is relentless, with performers traveling extensively and appearing in hundreds of shows per year. Ronda described it as exhausting, leaving little time for rest or family life. Creative limitations added another layer of strain. While she had opportunities to showcase her talent against performers like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Bella, Ronda wanted deeper, more meaningful storytelling. The combination of high-intensity physical performance and restricted creative expression contributed significantly to the pressures she faced as a wrestler and as an entertainer. Advocacy for the women's division. Ronda became a vocal advocate for equality in WWE. She observed that despite progress, women's matches were sometimes cut short, and storylines lacked the depth of those given to male performers. She emphasized that women deserved equal opportunities to showcase their skills, headline events, and tell compelling stories. Her advocacy reflects ongoing conversations about gender equality in wrestling and highlights the need for organizations to prioritize fairness, representation, and respect for women athletes. Finding balance through family. After stepping away post-WrestleMania 35, Ronda focused on personal life and motherhood, welcoming her daughter Lakia in 2021. Parenthood offered a different kind of fulfillment and provided perspective on her career challenges. It allowed her to step back from the relentless pace and scrutiny of WWE, reflect on her experiences, and reassess her priorities. This period of balance was critical for mental and emotional recovery, highlighting the importance of personal support systems for high-profile athletes. The healing power of speaking out. In her recent interview, Ronda candidly shared the struggles of her WWE tenure, from schedule pressures to online harassment and creative constraints. Speaking openly has been a form of healing, allowing her to process her experiences and advocate for positive change. Her honesty underscores that acknowledging vulnerability is a form of strength, and that mental health and well-being are crucial components of a performer's success and longevity. Legacy and lessons for the future. Ronda Rousey's WWE chapter demonstrates her impact beyond victories or titles. She helped elevate the women's division, inspired aspiring wrestlers, and challenged the industry to address equality and wellness. Her story reminds fans that performers are human, navigating challenges invisible to the public eye. By sharing her experiences, Ronda leaves a legacy of courage, reflection, and advocacy, offering lessons about resilience, fairness, and empathy that extend far beyond the wrestling ring. Legacy beyond WWE. Ronda Rousey's WWE chapter is a testament to her impact on professional wrestling. She helped elevate women's wrestling, brought mainstream attention to the division, and inspired countless performers and fans alike. Yet her story also underscores the realities of working in an intense, demanding, and highly visible profession. Ronda's journey illustrates that triumph and challenge often coexist, and that true legacy includes both successes in the ring and the courage to navigate struggles outside of it. Her experience reminds us that athletes are human, balancing ambition, vulnerability, and the pursuit of excellence. Conclusion. The fighter beyond the spotlight. Ronda Rousey's career is a testament to the complexities of human ambition. From Olympic judo to UFC dominance to WWE superstardom, she has faced triumphs, setbacks, and moments that tested her identity and resilience. Her reflections on WrestleMania 34 and beyond reveal a universal truth that even those who appear unstoppable are human, capable of doubt, fear, and growth. For fans, her story offers both entertainment and inspiration. For athletes, it is a reminder that success is multifaceted, encompassing not just achievement, but courage, adaptability, and emotional strength. Ronda Rousey remains an icon, not only for her victories, but for the humanity she brought to the spotlight.